there's some legislation coming down the pipeline that could have a very significant financial impact on a lot of RV people. Hey everybody, Josh RV Nerd of Bish's RV with a bit of a sort of a special report and expansion on something I didn't get a chance to properly dig into during my monthly RV industry update, and I apologize for that. I try to have everything kind of consolidated for you so you don't need to bounce to several videos, but I've been just recording an absolute insane amount of new 2026 content now that they've gone into production, and I just didn't have time to do the thing I would normally do. Anyway, I want to share some information that is coming very, very potentially coming from the One Big Beautiful Bill Act. If you're not familiar with this, it is technically still a bill up on Capitol Hill, like we learned during Schoolhouse Rock. It has passed through the House of Representatives. It passed by the skin of its teeth, a vote of 215 to 214, but it passed. It is going to the Senate for review, and it is pretty strongly expected to get through there. And it's a massive number of things, but we have this absolute crazy person of a company president who apparently reads every line of these things, and he noticed when you get down to page 690, there are some very potentially impactful, significant things that could help the RV community. The first one here is what's being officially called the senior bonus. Effectively, citizens 65 years and older are essentially being granted a $4,000 additional deduction. Now, there's two of you living in a household, you're both 65 and older, that would be $8,000. And it's it's what's called an above line deduction, meaning you don't have to itemize. That's why some of this is so significant. And on the same token, you may have heard rumor or dealers talking about, is it true that if I have a loan on an RV, I could deduct the interest off my taxes? Well, the answer is yes, but under specific circumstances. It's been that way for a while. In this One Big Beautiful Bill Act, there's a whole section about automotive loan interest. Basically being able to deduct up to an additional $10,000 per year of the interest generated on an auto loan off of your taxes. Don't know what's going on. I hope everybody's okay. But the thing is, the definition of auto loan was also deemed to include things like ATVs and RVs. So historically, if you were going to find any sort of, or try to apply a tax deduction of your RV loan interest or a four-wheeler ATV loan interest off of your taxes, you had to itemize things, and it was very complicated. And there's a lot of people that just have a very simple return that we're not able to enjoy the benefit of that. This might change. And again, I want to throw a big might out there because it's not official yet. It does look like it's going to carry though. So what this means is that, let's say you have financed an RV and there's two of you, 65 and older, living in a household. You could potentially have up to $18,000 per year of additional deductions off your taxable income, effectively. That's a pretty significant amount of money for the vast majority of us probably watching this channel right here. Now, I don't suspect most people will actually be able to achieve that number, but it's theoretically there and available and not necessarily impossible. And in a market cycle where we haven't seen, not a market cycle because it has nothing to do with the market, but just in an economic environment, I suppose, where we haven't seen significant reduction in interest rates in a while, anything I can get to help me afford my leisure time is kind of welcome by me. Now, as always, there's some kind of caveats. First of all, the first thing I want to say to this is no matter how much of a tax deduction you're saving, you are still, in the aggregate, spending money to make an RV purchase. I don't ever want this to be construed as I'm saying you can save money buying an RV. I don't live that kind of life where I'm going to be that kind of person about this, but if you can spend less money buying an RV, that sounds good to me, and I want you to know how you can accomplish that. That's my only goal here, because this is true, potentially, because it's still just a bill on Capitol Hill, whether you buy from Bish's RV or not. And I would say buy from me or not, but I'm not in sales. Anyway, there are some caveats to this, though. To qualify as a single individual, you need to have an annual income of, I believe, less than $100,000. And I think if you're filing jointly, you get to double that, where you need to have an annual income of less than $200. But if you're filing jointly, there's two of you, age 65 or older, you can deduct a lot of interest on a loan and get a couple senior bonuses, which can potentially soften the blow of your recreational vehicle purchase and or total cost of ownership and expenditure. And that's what I want you to understand. This is, again, not something that's going to save you money, but it is something that could make it a less expensive experience. Think of it like a government coupon. Now, a lot of information on this continues to roll out very regularly, so don't be surprised if you're hearing a lot of updates on this through all sorts of different media channels, not just RV-related media channels, because this is a very comprehensive, multifaceted potential act here. But in the meantime, that's what I've been able to figure out on this. I thought it was significant enough. I wanted to put this extra little blurb and bonus out for you. And if you appreciate how we're always basically on the gas pedal trying to keep you educated and in the loop on this stuff, hit that subscribe button. And if I see other significant developments on this or something else related to the industry or potential buying experience or owner's experience or whatever, I will do my best to get that out for you to the best of my ability. So, with that, thanks again, everybody. Take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy camping, everyone.